News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Missoula's Never Forget 9/11 ceremony draws a sparse crowd. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Monday, September 12th, 2016. Right now the sky's cloudy. It's 45 degrees in Missoula. We're going to have a very, very windy couple of days here in western Montana. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Bullseye Wear, with Missoula's only certified master optician on South Reserve in the old R.P. Ellis location. Contact them online at bullseyemt.com. A sparse crowd of only about 50 people, not counting participants, were at Rose Memorial Park Sunday afternoon to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks on America. Organizer Susan Campbell-Renault of the United Veterans Council provided a timeline of what happened when terrorists hijacked commercial airliners and flew them into history.
A total of 2,997 people perished in the air and on the land. There were a total of 343 firefighters and 60 police officers that perished in both Twin World Trade Center towers.
Retired Missoula rural firefighter Tom Ziegler recounted his experiences of working with the crews on Ground Zero in New York City. He ended with an anonymous poem from one fallen firefighter to his brothers and sisters.
Brother, when you weep for me, remember that it was meant to be. Lay me down, and when you leave, remember I'll be at your sleeve. So remember as you wipe your tears, the joy I know throughout the years. As I did the job I love to do, I pray that you will see me through.
An honor guard fired off a 21-gun salute, followed by a bugler who played taps to end the ceremony, which was sponsored by the Missoula Exchange Club. A 2-month-old child has been identified as the victim in Friday afternoon's one-vehicle rollover crash just outside Clinton. A Montana Highway Patrol dispatcher provides details of the fatal crash on I-90 just west of Clinton.
A Chevy truck, 2004, was east on I-90. The driver left the roadway and entered the median, attempted to correct and re-entered the road to the right, causing the vehicle to roll several times. Vehicle came to rest upright. Infant was ejected in her car seat and pronounced on scene. Driver and 2 other children were transported to the hospital.
Missoula County Sheriff's Office said Kaya Cleary was ejected from the vehicle while it rolled. She was pronounced dead at the scene. While on scene at the rollover accident, the Missoula Rural Fire Department was dispatched at about just before 2 o'clock to the area of mile marker 117 on I-90 for a 2-vehicle rear-end collision with injuries. Units arrived on scene and found a box-type delivery truck had struck the rear of a tractor trailer towing a pup trailer. The pup trailer, which was loaded with hot asphalt, had rolled onto its side. The driver of the delivery truck was pinned in the vehicle and required extensive extrication by rural fire department firefighters. Once extricated, the driver was taken to St. Patrick Hospital in serious condition. An interim committee is sending 5 bills to the 2017 Montana legislature, meant to blunt the economic impact of a planned partial closure of Colstrip's coal-powered power plants within the next 6 years. Included in the package is a plan to charge Talon Energy and Puget Sound Energy millions of dollars in taxes and fees for 10 years following the closure of the 2 units owned by the power companies. Republican Senator Dwayne Ankney of Colstrip drafted the package that advanced Friday in the Energy and Telecommunications Interim Committee. He says it's meant to ensure the blue-collar workers and communities around Colstrip are treated fairly by the companies that promise them permanent employment. Democratic Representative Christopher Pope warned against passing measures so harsh that companies would be discouraged from any future investments. The city of Billings has been ordered to pay nearly $3 million to police officers in back pay and wages, penalties, and other costs as a result of a lawsuit filed by a retired officer and 26 others back in 2009. The unpaid wages and benefits total about $1 million, and a $1 million penalty and other costs were added. According to the Billings Gazette, city officials objected to calculations for the officers' pay. The city has not yet decided whether they'll appeal. There may be even more to the story about Governor Steve Bullock's attendance at the Paul McCartney concert here in Missoula back in 2014. U of M says private funds were used to purchase the tickets for everyone in the president box, including those for the governor. Cheap tickets at that concert ran around $50. Bullock had much more valuable president box seats. Montana Political Practices Commissioner Jonathan Modell says accepting such a gift could be considered an ethics violation.
There is a state law. It's not a campaign practice law. It's an ethics law. It's 22102 subsection 3 of the Montana Code annotated, and it defines a gift of substantial value as a gift with a value of $50 or more for an individual, and that is a gift that a public official isn't supposed to be taking.
Modal says that during his 3 years in office, he's never yet prosecuted anyone under this law and that it's rarely invoked.
The thing I love about Montana is that Montanans still retain an expectation that there be fairness in campaigns and honesty in their elected officials. And I have to say, having worked with a lot of elected officials, most of them try to do the right thing. The ethics laws are rarely used.
Modal explained that there are 2 caveats to that law, one which deals with gifts trying to influence elected officials. The other caveat relates to people trying to reward officials for official actions taken. KGVO News asked the University of Montana who paid for the governor's tickets, but the information is not readily available. The pilot of an ultralight aircraft that crashed near Ronan Friday afternoon was injured and taken to a local hospital for treatment of undetermined injuries. Lake County Sheriff Don Bell said the aircraft crashed into a field near the pilot's home.
He was flying around over top this field right next to his residence, and don't know if there was a mechanical. We don't know yet, but he ended up landing very hard and then flipping onto its top.
Bell described the downed aircraft.
It's probably 18 feet at the length of it and probably 25 feet wide maybe. And it's, soft plastic that you could almost tear with your hands is the covering over this aluminum frame. And families tell me that's on scene that he's had it for 3 years. This is the first time he's flown it.
The pilot, identified as Robert Christensen of Ronan, was transported to a local hospital. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries and released. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a slight chance of a shower. By the afternoon, clouds will start to clear out and we'll see our high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, partly cloudy with our lows in the upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.